for those who might be watching for the first time, we are the Willie and Dee Jolley, and we're the authors of the book Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last.
I'm Dee, by the way.
That's Dee. You notice she has different glasses every week and a different hairstyle. Hey, Sherry Elliott. So we are glad the crew is coming in, and we're grateful for that. Let's talk about first the fact that people are still talking about the Today Show appearance. So thank you for that. And we're grateful for all of those who mentioned it. I was on a call on Saturday, and people said, did y'all see them on the Today Show? They were fabulous. So
they're kind.
They're very kind. So we want to thank them for that, and it was a pleasure. We were also excited to announce that we're going to be doing a TED Talk, a TED Talk together. And that's very rare and different. And so we're preparing for that.
It's TEDx Warrenton, Virginia.
Yeah, so TED Talk. And also we are still wanting people to take advantage of the Jolley Repair series. If you're watching this on replay or anywhere that you can get it, that you have room for improvement in your relationship and your marriage, we highly recommend you get the Jolley Marriage Repair series. It's available on demand at jolleymarriage.com/events. Just go and take full advantage of it. It's reasonably priced, but it will help your marriage. Much cheaper than a divorce lawyer. Am I right about it?
Yes, dear.
Yeah. So thank y'all for all joining us. Well, what we're going to talk about tonight is I told people that they can send letters, and we've been getting letters. And one of the letters is, what do you do? Why don't you tell us?
Wait.
Well, what is this concept?
Last week we were mailbagging.
Yeah, but
that was popular. So we'll do mailbagging once a month, which is just to pull out a question. Now, this week we're talking about.
But this came from this was a result of this concept or this topic was something we got.
But we actually
have had conversation with somebody.
Had to do research.
Right. So what is the issue that we're now discussing?
Topic of the week. The alpha personality. I wasn't sure what that was, but the question was how to strike an even balance in relationships. When it comes to decision making, what do you do when both you and your partner are alpha personalities? I had to look up alpha personality because I wasn't sure.
Everybody knows she's going to look it up no matter what it is. Look, when we do the promos, she has to look up her name and write it down.
My name is Dee. D-E-E. Okay, let's get back to this. So the question, so we're talking about an alpha personality, and of course I had to look it up.
Of course
to make sure I have a very clear understanding.
Because that's the teacher in her.
Yes. How to strike an even balance in relationships when it comes to decision making. What do you do when both you and your partner are alpha personalities? Note, this has been an issue for me in past relationships.
That person wrote that, yes. Mm-hmm. And how you handle that. Now,
so
what is an alpha?
In this situation, this person is not married.
Then why don't you tell what an alpha personality is, first of all?
How do you know I know?
You done the research. I already know you know.
Okay, so I'm like, a definition of an alpha personality.
Thank you. So you don't look over there. You look, the camera's right.
Yes, sir. Yes.
I'm into television. I'm into making sure everything's logistically.
Alpha personality.
Yeah.
Personality traits or characteristics that the person has a strong sense of self, determination, conviction in their beliefs, ambition, and a desire for hard work and getting ahead. Right. Doesn't that sound like most people to me? To you?
Yeah.
Doesn't that sound like most people?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
A strong sense of self, determination, a desire for hard work and getting ahead. Well, now, the more
I think that's such a general,
right? But the more I read,
okay, because that one is not that good. Okay.
No, you can't say it's not good.
But that's not really what you think of an alpha personality. I want it my way.
The question was was raised, I went to what's the difference in an alpha personality and conversely an alpha male syndrome? Hello? Because when you talk about alpha personality, what tends to come up is the term alpha male. And there's something called alpha male syndrome.
Okay.
So the characteristics, personality characteristics of conviction, determination, wanting to have it your way, all of that is what psychiatrists tend to call an alpha male syndrome. Now, it doesn't mean that women don't have it, but they coined it as an alpha male situation. And then there are 4 types, which is really what
Hold the horses, Charlie. Okay, this is you have switched. It was an alpha personality, not an alpha male personality. Women can have alpha personalities as well and want to run everything.
I'm ignoring him pointing at me.
You know, women can want to run everything.
But the point being that the personality traits of quote unquote alpha falls into 4 basic.
All right, what
types,
are the 4 types?
Right?
Yes.
And and males and females can exhibit that. 2 of those you exhibit and 2 I exhibit.
Which are the 2 that I exhibit versus the 2 that you exhibit?
Okay. Leadership.
I do lead.
Being in charge.
I'm in charge.
Intense magnetic personality or magnetic leaders. You set the tone. You rally the troops. You energize everybody.
All right.
That's the mark of a leader and is one of the types of alpha personalities. Okay?
Okay.
Visionary. So you've got an alpha personality, a visionary, and a person who is in charge. And you're a visionary. You see things that I don't see, and you come up with these outrageous ideas. And then we're like, okay, now how do we get this done?
Oh, I have to take a stop.
Visionary.
One stop before I forget. Senior Terrence is on. He just said a wonderful thing. Prophetic prophecy. Your book will be translated all over the world. I received that, but we want to congratulate Senior Terrence for getting a citation for his work in 9/11 and how he was so impactful. And there was a great citation. He sent it to me, and I want to make sure I share a shout out. I'm waiting for a few people to get on so they can see it. Bravo, Senior Terrence. Thank you for what you did for the folks at 9/11. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Now
okay.
go back.
Okay.
So those are 2 moniker, leadership and visionary.
Yes.
All right. What are yours?
And then strategist.
That would be good.
Strategist.
Yeah.
Plan, organize, thinking things through the details.
Yeah,
right?
That's not my gift.
And execution.
Well, I execute, but not like you. You will
No.
execute somebody.
You're not being kind.
Oh, shoot. I'm not supposed to tell that. Okay, you're right.
You can say it anyway. So the 4 basic components of an alpha personality. An alpha personality is really a go-getter and a person who tends to be very aggressive. That's the summary.
Okay.
But they broke it down into those 4 basic types. And as I was reading, I said, oh, I have 2 of those types. And you have 2.
Okay.
And in essence, we actually complement each other. But sometimes we butt heads because we both want to be in charge.
That's right.
We both want to be in charge.
That's what I want to get to.
Okay.
Yep. Hey, Joseph, thank you. I look forward to seeing you at High Point University on Wednesday. We'll be there and look forward to seeing you. Joseph was so kind to us and took us around when we were there last time in September.
Aww.
So I'll be speaking this week at High Point University for the guest lecture series, Artists in Residence. I'll be there Wednesday speaking, Thursday speaking, and we'll be around some of the day Friday doing some events in the High Point area, and then back here. So thank you, Joseph. Look to see you. So we got Alpha Pair. Now you've given all that content, and here's the bottom line.
What's the background? And I think it's important that people have background information so that they can wisely come to conclusions.
Yes. I see. The reason she says that is because she gets her thrills not on Blueberry Hill, but on going to the computer and getting research. I could have told her all of that. I could have told her that. Okay, but
But this is documentation. It's not just about the conversation. There's also documentation. And then you can have your opinion. I can have my opinion. And then our viewers can have their opinion.
Here's the bottom line. What do you do when both of you want to drive the car? And what do you do when both want to drive the car in a different direction? What do you do? How do you handle? That was the question that the lady asked. What do you do when you have two partners?
But then you have to unpack it. Okay. Both people want to drive the car, but they're driving the car and their perspectives are different.
Yes. But now who gonna make which way you gonna eventually drive? You can't split the car in half. So what do you do then? And that's what we want to give you our insight into what to do. Because the person
was it King Solomon that with lady
that was a great
baby,
that right.
His baby died. And
so for those who don't know the scriptural reference, here's the scriptural reference that you get two women who are, they said, women of ill repute. That's what they were. They were not two wives. You have to read the scripture.
I don't think, is that important?
Well, where was the husband then? See, there was no husband. So these two women who are of ill repute, as they would say, had gotten pregnant at the same time. They both had their babies at the same, two boys. One of the women smothered her boy accidentally.
Well, she slept on him
and smothered him. He died. Mm-hmm. So what she did was took the dead baby and snuck it in the room where the lady had the live little boy and replaced them. And in the morning, the one who had the live boy said, "This ain't my child." And the other one said, "Yes, it is. Yes, it is." So they took this situation to King Solomon. And King Solomon said, "Well, what do we do?" And the one who had replaced the baby said, "She got my baby. I got the live baby. She got the dead baby. It's my baby." And the one who had her baby stolen, she said, "No, that's my baby." So King Solomon said, "Well, I'll solve this. I'll cut the baby in half. And the one, I'll give you half and you half." Well, the one who had stolen and replaced the baby said, "That's fine with me." But the one whose mother said, "Oh, no, don't do it. Don't do that. Don't do that. Give her the baby. Save the baby." He said, "That's the mother." The mother will always be interested in taking care of that child. That was great wisdom. And so that's a great story. But in this process of what we're talking about, we cannot split the car. We cannot go in different directions. We are a unit. So how do we solve this problem? Well, Linda Kazera says compromise. Very good. Y'all been married a long time. You got the answer. You got to compromise. A lot of folks don't want to compromise. They don't want to work it out. But then what do you do if you compromise and you still can't come to a final decision? Well, let me tell you what we did. And this is in chapter number, I think it's number 7. Yep. How do you handle a stalemate? And this is what we would call a stalemate. So, as much as we've talked about how to disagree without being disagreeable, there will be times in your marriage when you will have stalemates. Stalemates occur when the two of you come to a fork in the road, and each of you have a different opinion on which way to go, and you're strongly committed to your position. Compromise, which is the best way to go. But what happens when compromise isn't available and there's no consensus to be found? That might happen occasionally. How do you come to a solution? Which way do you eventually go? These are the times when wisdom, go back to Solomon, must come into play. Webster's defines wisdom like this: a wise attitude, belief, or course of action the ability to discern inequalities in relationships to make good sense and have good sense. The Bible in Proverbs says wisdom is the primary thing. Blessed are those who find wisdom, those who gain understanding, for wisdom is more profitable than silver and yields better returns than gold. So you got to have wisdom. And what do you do here? Well, let me tell you how we handle it. When we got married, Dee, I already knew was very smart. My mom had told my brother and I, marry a smart woman, somebody smarter than you. You don't want to marry a dumb woman because there's going to be nothing but trouble.
Or a dumb man, for that matter.
Okay. She didn't tell me about no man, but she did tell me about me. But my brother and I, she said, don't marry no dumb woman.
Additional commentary here.
Don't marry no dumb woman because it's going to be nothing but trouble. So I married a smart woman. Now, knowing that she's a very smart woman, I said, here's what I need you to do. You can run everything. Just let me think. Make me think I'm in charge. Didn't I say that to you?
Yes, you did, dear.
And what did you say?
I said, yes, I can do that.
She said, I can do that. But there's another piece to that. I was also praying for wisdom. What to do, God, when I had no idea that this situation was going to come up. But I asked for wisdom, and I asked for something that was very important early on. I said, here's what I want to ask for. Veto power. Somebody got to have the power to make the decision at the end of the day. I said, I'm going to ask you. I'm not going to demand it. I'm not going to say you got to do it. I'm going to ask you to give me veto power and let me make the decision if I have to make the decision. If it has to be made at the end of the day, give me veto power.
So you're saying if we had a stalemate.
If we had a stalemate.
How are we going to break the tie?
And
part of that comes down to what we talked about, the rules of engagement. How are we going to operate in our relationship? And I think that many people don't do that. I think we just kind of stumbled into that, really.
I believe it was the grace of God because I was willing to be open to ask you. Mm-hmm. I didn't demand it.
I really think that was wisdom. You were a young boy. He was wise. But I think that's because you were so fast and had so much experience.
Yeah.
You know I have to go there. He was so fast for so long. He learned a lot of things.
I had wisdom enough to get you.
You did.
Okay.
Yes.
So the wisdom that I shared was, I'm not going to demand it. I'm going to ask you to give me that. And I will make one promise. Here's the big deal. Listen, folks, this is the big deal. I will promise never to abuse it. If you give me that, I promise to be respectful and never abuse it. She said, I trust you that you won't. So over the last 40 years of us being together, 37 years of us married, I've had to use veto power on something we disagreed about 3 times, 4 times maybe.
Always related to the children.
Always related to the children. Even our latest one was our grandson this summer, where my wife was like, nah, he doesn't deserve to go with us to this youth leadership program where our convention, where they have a leader, because he had not done well when he was last with us. But the Lord, I said, God, what should I do? When you don't know what to do, here's what I recommend. Pray for wisdom. Pray for wisdom. God, ask God for wisdom. And I said, God, what should I do? He said, take the boy. And I go back to Dee and I said, we got to take him. Now, here's the thing. Once I said, we got to do it, she said, okay, that's what we'll do.
But this is what I need before him.
She did give a condition that she needed to have a conversation with him because
of my concern.
About her concern, because the last time we had any dealing with him had not been pretty. So she did. He apologized to her, but he went, and it turned out to be a fantastic time with him. And he blessed us with his presence, and many people were grateful of his presence, and he turned out to be.
Because of how he worked with the youth. Okay, let's get back to
So, but the lesson here is the veto power. So, 3 things I want to share with you in married folks who might be watching this live or might be watching it on our channel. When you have a stalemate, you have to work through each other. Linda was right. We compromised by talking, going back to communication. It goes back to communication. Almost everything goes back to communication. And then understand that there's compromise involved and there's respect. And
I was going to say mutual respect.
Mutual respect.
I don't think you can get to the compromise if you don't respect each other.
And then trust that you have integrity to do what you say you're going to do. That's big, integrity. Do what you say you're going to do. Now, in the book, I give the example, or we give the example.
And your past performance is the only thing that we have at this point to indicate what you're going to do in the future.
Correct.
Which is the building of the trust. So if it's all jacked up and there's constant conflict, you have to ask the question, what has been the past behavior that would make me think that you're not going to keep your word?
Right, right. And a lot of folk won't keep their word. I'm not counseling. I'm mentoring a couple. You know, we have a mentor program. For those who might want to get involved with that, you can contact us. It costs money, by the way. And so this couple won't keep their word. They won't keep their word. They won't do what they say they're going to do. And then they want to.
I think they like being miserable.
That must be it.
And see, I think part of it is you decide early on the character or the culture of the relationship. When we interact with some couples, they are argumentative.
Yep.
That's the nature
yep.
of the culture that they created.
Right.
We don't have that kind of culture.
Nope.
We're kind, we're loving, we're gracious, and we're funny with each other.
Well, we enjoy each other.
And I think when people are with us, they like being around us.
Right.
Because of the kind of atmosphere that we create.
Right.
Which is supportive. So I think part of the challenge is what kind of environment do you want to create in your relationship?
Yes, yes. So here's how we talk about it in the book. 1, you got to compromise. 2, you got to work on communicating. And then you got to have, somebody got to break the tie.
You have to have mutual respect.
And mutual respect.
So there's some fundamental things before you can even get to, okay, I have an alpha personality. Yes, I really, and I say to you, I want to be in control of everything.
Everything.
I do.
She does.
And you say, why is that? But because I know how to control everything, except you. I'm still working.
So, but here's what I want y'all to hear. The last part of this. Trusted advisor. Trusted advisor. I get into trust. Trusted advisor. She is my trusted advisor. So here's where I learned about that concept. What do you do when you both want to go one way or the other? So what happens if want to go down the road and I want to go left? And we're going down the road, she want to go right. And going down left, I want to go left, she want to go right. And we can't make a decision. What do? 9 times out of 10, I'm going to go the way she wants to go because she's my trusted advisor.
And what does that mean?
Well, here's the analogy. My mom and dad.
Don't use that analogy. No.
My mom, that's the best analogy.
No, I don't want, no.
Yes, it is.
No, another definition
but
of
that's
a trusted advisor.
That's the best story, an illustration. You can come up with your own. You got one better, use it. If you don't have one, let me use the one I got. My mom and dad. My dad driving down the street. 1956 Chevrolet. And it's the old jitney, as they called it. And so they had a roll down window. My dad, on those cars, you had a rear view mirror here and one here. You did not have one on that side. So my dad would say as he riding down the road, Catherine, can I get over? My mama would roll down that window. She'd stick her head out the window. She said either yes or no. And whatever way she would say, it would determine how he would respond. So if she said yes, he would get over. If she said no, he would stay in that same lane. She was his trusted advisor. So 9 times out of 10, when I have to make a decision, I'm going to ask her advice because she has thought it through. And 9 times out of 10, I'm going to go the way she chooses to go because I trust her. She's my trusted advisor. That's the secret to not getting in a stalemate because you trust your mate. Now you can give your analogy, whatever.
Because the past experiences of asking for advice, I have the research, I've done the background.
Give your trusted advisor. You got your story now. You got.
I don't want to give this. I don't want to give that
no story because you don't want me to give mine. You got no story.
But when you come to me and you ask for advice or wise counsel, even down to the tax situation or what's the percent, the simple registration for your car. What is it? I have the information right there and I can answer your questions. So past history says that 9 times out of 10 I've been Johnny on the spot. Am I not right?
You're right. Is that your analogy?
Yes.
Okay, I'll go with that. That's a good one. That was pretty good. All right, so our time is up.
Oh no! See, let me do my dose of D. Quick dose of D. Stop. Quick dose of D.
Here she goes.
We're headed into fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Q4 financially, which means October, November, December. It's the year end, so it's time now as we approach the last quarter to prepare financially. Last 3 months, particularly those of us who are in business for ourselves, and to prepare for the first quarter of 2023. What are your goals? Did you achieve your goals? So we've got 3 months to catch up and meet the goals in 2022 and to plan for 2023. So we can hit our goals, right?
Yeah.
So year-end planning as well as tax strategy planning. Because the rules are different. They're not enough. They're like what? 80,000 people short with the IRS personnel. So you want to file your stuff online, right?
Yeah.
So and you want to work on your team, your financial advisor, your insurance agent. It's time for you to start to review so you're not upside down and at the last minute. You're not Christmas running around. Oh my God. Is my year-end stuff together? Most people don't think about it really. Many until the first 2 years, too late. It's time to get organized now. There you go.
Is that your dose of D?
That's it.
All right. You got the dose of D. You heard her. All right. Thank y'all. Let's see. Again, to those who are joining us first time, make love, make money, make it last. 10 Secrets Shape a Great Marriage. Everybody should have 2 copies of this book if you're in a relationship, one for each of you. Gentleman ordered some yesterday. He was going to order 1. I said, "Go get 2." He would listen to my advice. He called me today and said, "Thank you. My wife felt valued when I get her own copy."
Aw, nice. Each part feels valued.
So get 2 copies, then read it together at the end of each chapter, discuss it, go to the next chapter, discuss it, and you will see your relationship and marriage.
There's summary questions at the end, the leading questions that help you unpack the chapter.
Right.
So you can talk about it. Okay?
We're on our way to High Point University, High Point, North Carolina.
We'll tell you how it went next week.
I'm going to be the guest lecturer there Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday with Nito Cobain's school. That is outstanding. If you ever get a chance to go to High Point University and check it out. And then I look forward to talking to y'all next week. We have a great show coming for you next week, as always, because I got this smart and beautiful and brilliant Taylor-Jolley.
Oh yeah, rub it in there.
Oh,
yes.
I will work on it now.
He knows how to do that. Okay.
All right, so thank y'all. We're going to be out. Have a great day. Thank you, Terrence. Congratulations again. Thank you, Linda and Greg Kazera, Mark Stevens, Sherry Elliott, all the others who are watching, joining in. Let's see, somebody else was on just now. I wanted to make sure I said hello to, let's see, Joseph was there. Thank you, Joseph. I see you on, and Daisy Cakes, 7:31. All right. God bless y'all. We out. Here goes our music. Have a great day. Why do birds suddenly appear every time you are near?
Just like me, they long to be close to you.